This show is brought to you by Safety FM.
Gates of earth won't let you out. This is where you fall down. You weren't ready when heaven rained down in a storm cloud. Don't let your feelings out. Every word you speak on the back page, tripping in a joke in a seascape. Need a love shot. You weren't ready to meet the angels. When you fall, then don't. When you care, then won't. You weren't ready when heaven rained down. When you fall, when you see.
MA/LSV. It contains strong language, sexual situations, and violence. It is intended only for mature audiences.
Finally, show with the balls to call it like it is. Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
Countdown to audio torture.
The Rated R Safety Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Let the eardrum pain begin.
Forget the corporate bullshit. This is the Rated R Safety Show with your host, Dr. It doesn't matter who the host is.
Oh, it does not matter who the host is. What matters always is who the listeners are. Anyways, how are you? I hope everything is good and grand inside of your neck of the woods. No doubt about that, as we are hanging out on this lovely Monday, January the 8th. Of 2024. I almost called it 23 based off a habit. Anyways, we are broadcasting from the Safety FM studios in Orlando, Florida, and coming across the multiverse known as Safety FM. And then we are hanging out with our friends and colleagues at that other place.
Radio Big. Streaming 24/7 at RadioBig.fm.
Yes, hanging out with our friends at Radio Big. No doubt about what we do over there. Hanging, banging, and everything else in between that one could imagine. That is for sure. So anyways, yeah, let's talk about it. If you're not familiar with what we do around here, simple process. We talk about safety in the news and safety. Yep, that's what we do. We cover a gamut of stuff, not a damn it of stuff, but a gamut of stuff. So we talk about safety, we talk about the news, we talk about the world of entertainment. This is a 3-hour show, but this beginning portion, we refer to it as the Rated R Safety Show, which is 1 hour. 1 hour out of the 3. The last 2, of course, Jay Allen in the Morning Show, which is all really part of the Jay Allen in the Morning Show. Not a problem there. So you can interact with the show by going to callinradio.com. That's callinradio.com. That will get you directly into our system. Now, listen, I know people get excited and they want to talk on social media. They want to talk on Facebook. They want to talk on X. They want to talk on here. They want to talk on there. Listen, for me to pay attention to anything, it's just the way that it works, callinradio.com. That's why it's on the little scroll towards the bottom on where to do it. Now, listen. We are a radio station first, podcast network second, and then we do the video thing for the first hour because that's what we've been asked to do. So that's why I do it. I mean, I'm not going to lie here and tell you it's my fave because I would be lying if I told you it was my favorite thing to do because it's not. It really isn't. I mean, don't take it personal. I'm not trying to be insulting. I'm just trying to tell you exactly how I feel about it. Yeah, how I feel about it. So, with that being said, why don't we start talking right away about what the hell was trending in the overnight?
Here is what was trending. Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, so as I look at the trends of the ends, An elevator tech miraculously survives a disaster, and an Alabama man puts an unexpected show. Also, Ariana Grande is said to release a new single, and Britney Spears returns to Vegas. Yeah, you heard me there. Jodie Foster is not a fan of working with Gen Z actors, and Jeopardy fans were shocked over recent missed clues. We'll talk about that. And then amid more Epstein files, fallout from Prince Andrew faces more consequences, and it's still not enough. So we'll get into all of that fun stuff as we are talking. So with that being said, why don't we get you pummeling and rolling and moving and grooving and everything else and start talking about what the hell is going on inside of the world of the news? Because listen, I know that this is part of what people are here for. So let's get it moving right now.
Here is the news on the Rated R Safety Show.
From Feature Story News in the UK, I'm John Beaver. Government ministers are meeting to discuss what's been called the most widespread miscarriage of justice in British history. More than 700 post office branch managers were wrongly convicted of financial crimes due to faulty accounting software. Those convicted, some of whom were jailed, were found guilty of charges including fraud, theft and false accounting due to problems with a nationally implemented piece of software. A TV drama that aired last week has brought the subject back into the spotlight. Conservative peer Lord Arbuthnot wants justice for the victims.
I think that Parliament has got to step in and say that post office convictions are not safe. We've seen the way that investigators behaved, and they behaved in a way which was contrary to the rule of law.
India's Supreme Court has ordered 11 men who were released prematurely last year be sent back to jail. The men were convicted for the gang rape of a pregnant Muslim woman in the 2002 Gujarat riots, and their early release has sparked condemnation from critics of the government. The men have to be back in jail within 2 weeks. Nehal Punia has more.
The Supreme Court ruled that the state government of Gujarat, which had authorized their release, did not have the authority to do so since the men were not convicted in Gujarat in the first place. The men were released last year by officials in the state where the crime occurred on the grounds that they had spent more than 14 years in jail and on grounds of good behavior in prison. The state government of Gujarat had said it had also sought the approval of Prime Minister Modi's government as well. Mr. Modi led the state of Gujarat back in 2002 when the riots took place. The men's release was challenged by several petitioners, including Bilkis Bano herself, who said their early release had shaken the conscience of society. Bilkis Bano was 21 years old and 5 months pregnant when she was gang raped while fleeing the communal violence in Gujarat.
The highly indebted Chinese property company Evergrande says a director of its electric vehicle business has been detained on suspicion of criminal activity. Shares in the company were suspended for several hours in Hong Kong until the announcement was made. Here's Andrew Wood.
Evergrande named the man as Liu Yongshou, an executive director of the New Energy Vehicle Group, in a filing to the Hong Kong Stock Exchange. It said he'd been detained in accordance with the law on suspicion of illegal crimes. It gave no further details. Evergrande had hoped to sell $500 million worth of shares in the electric vehicle subsidiary to a company in Dubai, but that deal collapsed late last year. Evergrande owes hundreds of billions of dollars because its main property development business collapsed. A court in Hong Kong will decide this month if the firm should be liquidated. Many ordinary Chinese buyers have paid up front for Evergrande apartments that haven't been built.
From bureaus worldwide, this is FSN.
With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon Marks, looking today at fresh attempts by the United States this week to try and advance a diplomatic settlement to the crisis in the Middle East. US Secretary of State Antony Blinken is spending a full week in the region. He'll visit Israel for the 5th time since the Hamas attacks of October the 7th, and is also travelling to Turkey, Greece, Jordan, Qatar, the UAE, Saudi Arabia and Egypt as well. Carla Ann Robbins, with America's Council on Foreign Relations, says the agenda has expanded following Israel's assassination last week of a senior Hamas official in Lebanon.
Well, U.S. officials have been saying that they didn't think that the Israelis would do a strike in Beirut if they thought this was going to spark a full-out war. But what has been a really horrifying war in Gaza and Israel could now be spinning out of control. When we first heard of Secretary of State Blinken's visit to the region, and this is going to be, as you said, his fifth to Israel and his fourth around the region since the war started, we really thought it was going to be primarily focused on urging the Israelis to reel back the war in Gaza. And now it seems to have a much wider agenda, trying to stop the conflict from spinning out of control.
That, of course, is precisely not where anyone wanted to find themselves at the beginning of this year, and it comes at a time when Iranian-backed Houthi rebels are making life very dangerous and tense in the Red Sea, targeting vessels and disrupting commercial tankers that they believe may have ties to Israel. With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon Marks.
To recap the top stories, government ministers are meeting to discuss a huge miscarriage of justice in the UK after more than 700 post office managers were wrongly convicted of financial crimes due to faulty accounting software. India's Supreme Court has ordered 11 convicted rapists who were released prematurely be sent back to jail. And the highly indebted Chinese property company Evergrande says the director of its electric vehicle business has been detained on suspicion of criminal activity. That's the latest feature story news. John Beaver reporting.
Listen to our host
Of the Rated R Safety Show.
self-implode on our airwaves, only on Safety FM.
I know you all want to hit your revenue targets and get the launch done. Well, making sure that your team knows what to do and how to do it is a huge part of it. So I'm sure that you all do different kinds of training, and I'm willing to bet that you probably use PowerPoint, Zoom, etc. I also bet that when you get someone droning on about a topic using these tools, you probably zone out. And your team does too. I mean, it is a reality of what happens. That's why I strongly recommend a tool called Articulate 360. That makes it so easy to whip together interactive, really beautiful e-learnings that really engages people and gets info across. You can create short-form micro-learning, super interactive courses, and really whatever you need when you're in their site. Then with a couple of clicks, you can send it out and check on it and see the progress of your team. Your team can also check back on the training anytime they want in a super simple portal. Literally everyone uses Articulate. Over 120,000 companies and all 100 Fortune 100 companies. Check it out at articulate.com/360 to start a free trial. That's articulate.com/360 to start your free trial. And don't forget to tell them that I was the one that sent you there.
Is your safety training old, stale, and hackneyed? Safety trainers still preaching a warped version. How about safety training that actually addresses your hazards in your workplaces and is not standardized baloney from 25 years ago? Contact the Safety Wars team at safetywars.com or call Jim Polzel at 845-269-5772. Remember, if you're receiving this message, you are the solution to unsafe workplaces.
Let me talk to you real quick. What is HelloFresh? With HelloFresh, you get farm fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and seasonal recipes delivered right to your doorstep. Skip trips to the grocery store and count on HelloFresh to make home cooking easy, fun, and affordable. That's why it's America's #1 meal kit. Spend your time this month shopping for gifts and sipping cocoa, not stuck at the checkout line. Sign up for HelloFresh and get everything you need to whip up a fresh, tasty meal delivered to your door. Just choose your recipes, select a delivery date, and relax knowing the dinner is on its way. HelloFresh has over 45 recipes and more than 100 seasonal add-on items to choose from every week, so it's easier than ever to find something everyone will enjoy. Go to HelloFresh.com/SafetyFM3. That's HelloFresh.com/SafetyFM3 to use the code SafetyFM3 for free breakfast for life. One breakfast item per box while subscription is active. That's free breakfast for life at HelloFresh.com/SafetyFM3 with code SafetyFM3. And don't forget that this is why HelloFresh is America's #1 meal kit.
Safety never sounded so terrible. Rated R Safety Show.
Have you ever wanted to start live streaming and were not sure how to do it? You can start live streaming up to 40 social media platforms all at one time for as little as nada. It's going to cost you your time. That is what it's going to cost. You can pre-record, you can live stream, you can do a multitude of things. To find out more information, all you have to do is go to safetyfm.com/one. That's safetyfm.com. ONE.
Safety in a way never heard of before. The Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
Okay, there you go. 15 minutes past the top of the hour as you and I are hanging out doing our thingo right now. Yeah, that's for sure, because that's what we do, our thing, in regards of what's going on. It is still lovely Monday. Don't worry about that. It is the 8th of January. Now, let's talk real quick because before I get into this. This could be potentially, for some, their first day back. The first day of the week back since the holidays. So this could be a big day for some people. Also, this could be a day where maybe it's not that big of a day for others. But let's talk about it because there is a move and groove for things that are going on. No doubt so. So, is it your first day back? If it is, well, congratulations. Welcome to the new year. If you're like me and we're on the second week, well, congratulations because we've been here for some time. So it is time to move and groove and get into that lovely thing that we call the shit list because that is where we get all of our data. Yeah. And going forward in regards of what is happening. So the Federal Aviation Administration has grounded 171 Boeing 737 MAX aircraft after a window blew out on an Alaskan airline flight on Friday. Just a few minutes into the flight from Portland, Oregon, en route to Ontario, California, a passenger window suddenly popped out of the frame, and one's child's shirt was reportedly blown off of multiple passengers. So they lost their phones as the rest held on for dear life. At least one TikTok video shows the chaos, including a giant hole in the plane fuselage. In a statement, the Alaskan Airlines CEO said they expected a total inspection of the company's 65 MAX 9 aircraft to be concluded within a matter of days. This is according to Sun. Meanwhile, the National Transportation Safety Board is asking for the public to help locate a fuselage section that tore it away to help determine how and why this occurred. This is according to CNN. So imagine that real quick. All of a sudden, you're looking and going, listen, we need to take a look-see here at some things that are going on because we're not 100% sure on what exactly happened. I mean, that's some scary stuff when you start thinking about it. Because what else are you gonna be looking at? No doubt there. So let me see if I can pull this off. I don't know if I can. Anyways, there's a video online readily available for it. And I mean, when I'm talking about giant hole, I'm not joking as I say giant hole. I'm talking this thing. No outsy. Hold on. Did I just totally mess this up? I probably did. So no outsy here. If you're on the video aspect, we will take a look at this together. Take a listen. Yeah, this is a giant perspective. The person's going back and forth with the camera in regards to this giant hole. Now, listen, I'm not going to tell you this is probably the best thing to be doing in regards to trying to pull this out, but this person is showing everything that's happening. Yeah, it's some freaky stuff. Giant hole. I mean, and you can tell, that all the mass dropped down. Listen. So people, I guess, are doing the video and all that. Just imagine being in that role when that actually goes down. You're not going to be super excited about life.
There was no one seated there. There was thankfully no one seated near the window.
So, yeah, luckily, as you can hear, no one next to the window whatsoever. But, man, talk about some freaky-eeky.
I thought we were too.
So you get the point. You get the point for sure in regards of what was going on. But man, can you imagine all of a sudden, well, we have to make an emergency landing. They kind of, what they do is they go into a loop and they drop back down to 10,000 feet because it's supposed to be easier to breathe when that occurs. And then they have to land again. So what are you going to do now? Your plan was going to go from Portland to Ontario, California. Are you wanting to jump onto that next flight? And let me ask the strange question. What if you find out that next flight is a 737 MAX? Are you going to be super excited about jumping back on right away? I mean, I don't know. Of course, you're going to have some freak out moments because that's just the way that it goes.
We at Safety FM are not responsible for what this idiot behind the microphone is saying. He is trying to be entertaining. Rated R Safety Show.
So let's talk about Florida because, when we get into information of the weird and, in the unexpected, Florida never seems to disappoint. An elevator technician in West Palm Beach, Florida, miraculously survived getting crushed by the very unit that he was working on inside of the parking garage late last week. The unidentified 48-year-old accidentally released the hydraulic fluid that caused the elevator car to release and crash on top of him. Emergency responders swiftly retrieved the tech. The pocket flintlock pistols are expected to sell for around $500,000 through another pair of guns owned by Hamilton sold at auction in 2021 for $1.5 million. History lessons Hamilton has was found. Hold on. History lesson real quick. Hamilton was the founder of the New York Post, a Revolutionary War officer, and a first Treasury Secretary. This is according to the NY Post. So what do you think? some stuff to talk about for sure. Anyways, take a listen to this one because we need to talk about it. Of course, let's talk about some deaths that are occurring. I know, not the greatest thing to talk about, but it needs to be talked about. Actress Cindy Morgan has died. She passed away at her home in Lake Worth Beach, Florida, at the end of December. An exact cause of death is not known. Morgan is best known for her role in Caddyshack. She was 69 at the time of her passing. Also, actor Christian Oliver has died. He passed away on Thursday along with his two young daughters in a plane crash near the Caribbean. Oliver, best known for his roles in Speed Racer and Valkyrie. He was 51 at the time of the passing. Football player Jack Squirrick has died. He passed away on Friday, according to a statement from his family. No cause of death was given. Squirrick spent his career with the Raiders. He was 64 at the time of his passing. Also, actor David Soul has died. He passed away on January the 4th at a hospital in London after a long-term illness. Soul is best known for the detective Kenneth Hutchinson on Starsky and Hutch. He was 80 at the time of his passing. So there you go. There you go. There you go. Let's talk about some other stuff. Do we want to talk about the sick bay? Let's talk about the sick bay. Because I think that might get some people out there excited or not. I don't know. Michael Bolton is recovering from surgery after recently being diagnosed with a brain tumor. The surgery was a success. The 70-year-old wrote on social media on Friday. He also let fans know that in order to focus on his recovery, he will be taking a break from touring. So this happened on Friday where all the stuff came about. So there you go. Some information for you. Let's talk about the box office from over the weekend because some people care about that stuff. So let's talk about what happened. At number 10 was Poor Things with $2 million. And number 9 was Ferrari with $2.5 million. At number 8, The Iron Claw with $3.9 million. At number 7, The Color Purple with $4.7 million. At number 6, The Boys in the Boat, $6 million. Number 5, Anyone But You, $9.5 million. Migration was at number 4 with $10.2 million. At number 3, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, $10.6 million. And number 2, Night Swim with $12 million. And at the number 1 spot was Wonka. Yeah, we should call it Wonka the Musical because if you have not seen it, it is definitely a musical. No doubt about that. No, I'm being dead serious. As I say that, I'm not joking. I'm not playing around. I'm not saying, "Oh yes, it's not a musical." It is definitely a musical. I went to see that movie because my youngest daughter wanted to see it. My oldest daughter wanted to see it too, but she just couldn't make it that day. But we went to go see it, and I was kind of surprised that within the first, you know, it's a musical within the first few seconds. You don't have any doubts about life, if it is or if it's not, because it starts off right away. Turning right into that. So if you're into musicals, good for you. You should probably go see it. It's not bad. I mean, it's not bad. I mean, it's not. I am not the default audience for that movie. I just want to make sure that we say that. Anyways, let's talk about some money matters stuff because I think some people will care about money because it does matter. So let's go ahead and talk about that right now. The Dow increased about 25 points to close at 37,466 on Friday. The S&P added about 8 points to close at 4,697, and the Nasdaq increased by 13 points to close at 14,524. West Texas Intermediate closed at $73 a barrel on Friday, and Brent crude was at $78. The national average price of a gallon of gas was $3.07 on Sunday, and Bitcoin was down slightly over the weekend, trading around 43,750 on Sunday evening. There was more than 6,160 flights delayed within and to and out of the United States on Sunday, and more than 820 such cancellations. Tuesday night's Mega Million drawing will be for $165 million. Well, that's the jackpot, or a $79.9 million cash payout. Tonight's Powerball drawing will be for $46 million jackpot, or a $22.8 million cash payout. So if you want to play the game, I guess it is time to do so. So listen, I guess we have to talk about this to some extent. I mean, we can. We don't have to. But probably we should talk about the winners from last night. What do you think? Do you care about this? Well, anyways, comedian Joe Coy hosted the 81st Golden Globe Awards on Sunday. at the Beverly Hills Hilton. 2 new categories this year, awards for stand-up comedy and box office achievement based on total ticket sales and online streaming metrics. Worth noting it is in the last year, Penske Media purchased the awards program, which had been owned by and managed by the Hollywood Foreign Press Association for decades, is now primarily produced by Dick Clark's production. And if we're being honest, Oppenheimer took home most of the awards for the night with 5, including Best Motion Picture Drama. Succession won 4, including Best Dramatic TV Series, and 3 of the 4 dramatic acting categories. And The Bear scored 3 wins, including Best Comedy for a musical TV series and so on. So let's take it from the top. Let's go into the movie category. Movie drama was Oppenheimer. Movie musical or comedy was Poor Things. Movie actor was Cillian Murphy for Oppenheimer. Movie actress drama, Lily Gladstone, Killers of the Flower Moon. Movie actress musical or comedy, Emma Stone for Poor Things. Movie actor musical or comedy, Paul Giamatti for Holdovers. Movie actor supporting role, Robert Downey Jr. for Oppenheimer. Movie actor supporting role, Divine Joy Randolph, The Holdovers. Cinematic and box office achievement was Barbie. Movie original song, What Was I Made For, from Barbie by Billie Eilish and Phineas. Movie original score, Oppenheimer. Director for a movie, Christopher Nolan, Oppenheimer. Animated movie, The Boy and the Heroine. Best motion picture, non-English language, autonomy of the Fall. And movie screenplay, Justin Treat, was Autonomy of the Fall. So there you go. So if you do the tallies real quick, it was Oppenheimer 5 movies or 5 awards: drama, original score, best actor, director, and best supporting actor. The next one was Succession, TV series, best drama, actress, drama, actor, supporting actor. So there you go. Also, the next one was the Bear with comedy, best actress, comedy, best actor, and that was it. And then what else? Limited series was Beef. So there you go. I don't know. A lot of stuff going on. And anyways, NSYNC's Joey Fatone and Backstreet Boys' AJ McLean are going on tour. Insiders say that the two are to hit the road in March and will perform hits from both retrospective bands. While McLean has been touring with his fellow Backstreet Boys, fans are still holding out hope for an NSYNC reunion. So there you go. Also, in some other news, Britney Spears spent some time in Sin City over the holiday, staying at the Resort World at an area. She was also spotted hanging out in the wind, and there where she enjoyed some cold beer and some seafood lakeside. So there you go. And the last time that Spears was in Vegas was with her husband, and it was during the visit that she was accidentally slapped a basketball player, security guard, and she attempted to say hello. So there you go. There you go. So with that being said, it is 33 minutes past, so let's go ahead and get into that thing that we do around this time that we normally call our main story. Yeah, no, seriously. Main story time. Let's go ahead and do that. Why would we not?
Here is our main story on the Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, so let's talk about it. And I mean, today is an interesting one because, you know, when I start taking a look at stuff, we have to talk about things. We have to take a look at some of the stuff. And I have to ask you a question. And I'll start off with a simple and a basic one. Do you know what CE399 is? Now, I'm going to give you a moment. There isn't dead air. It's not that we disconnected. Do you know what CE399 is? Okay, if you don't, I want to tell it to you because it's a lovely thing to talk about. And if you're not familiar with it, well, it helps if I give you an explainer, and then we can get into it. So, CE399 theory, also known as the single bullet theory or the magic bullet theory, was the central element of Warren Commission's investigation into the assassination of the U.S. President John F. Kennedy. The theory proposes that a single bullet designated as the Warren Commission's Exhibit 399 or CE399 was responsible for the non-fatal wounds inflicted on both President Kennedy and Governor John Conley. According to the theory, the bullet struck Kennedy in the back, exited through his throat, and then went on to cause all the all the wounds that John Conley had. The single bullet theory was introduced to reconcile the evidence that with the conclusion that Lee Harvey Oswald acted alone in the assassination. The theory validity is crucial because the non-fatal wounds to Kennedy and Conley that were caused more than one bullet. It would simply imply that more than one gunman was involved, contradicting the lone gunman conclusion of the Warren Commission. The single bullet theory has been the subject of much debate and controversy, and it has been both, discredited and, often referred to as, the magic bullet theory, and mainly due to the complex trajectory of the bullet that would have done to take the cause of the wounds. Critics argue that the bullet's path and the lack of significant damage to the presidential limousine are inconsistent with the theory. The theory was also credited to Arlen Specter, a staff member of the Warren Commission who later became a U.S. Senator. The theory acceptance or rejection has significant implications for broader understanding of the Kennedy assassination, particularly regarding the number of shooters involved. Now, listen, I don't want to talk too much about, the Kennedy assassination because that's something entirely different. But I want to talk about this CE-399, also referred to as the magic bullet. So, 7 wounds is what is believed to have caused. And I reference this today because I think it's an interesting one. Because this one bullet that had 7 entry points between 2 people, as it went through, is sometimes what we look for as we're saying or we're wanting to change our programs on what's going on. As we take a look at our safety department, as we take a look at things that are going on within our organization, we're looking for that quote-unquote magic bullet. I cannot tell you how many times I sit through meetings with organizations and listen to what they're asking and how they want us to be involved in what's going on, and they're essentially looking for their CE-399. I don't know why everyone is under the impression that there is such a thing as a magic bullet. Have you ever seen a bullet go into to create 7 different wounds? Besides this one, based on the Warren Commission? Because I know that there's people that are out there that are looking for predictive software that's going to tell me where the next incident is going to occur based on what I have seen in the past. I am also looking for software that will tell me what exactly I need to do, exactly how I need to do it before anything happens. Now, I don't know about you. I would love a piece of software that did that. I would love this magic CE-399 to tell me everything that's going to happen in my life before it happens and how it can resolve things. This magic bullet theory. But unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you look at it, it doesn't exist. It doesn't happen. And some people don't love that. Some people don't like me saying that, and that's okay. I don't expect everything I say to be loved. But realistically, if there was one of these magic elements that could exist in your workplace, don't you think your job would already have it? Don't you think things would already been replaced inside of your work with this thing? I'm just saying. So maybe we stop looking for CE-399 at your workplace. And we start focusing on the people that are there. Because I will tell you that your team members, employees, compadres, work associates will be able to tell you more information about what's going on inside of your system than this magical bullet that we continue to look for that's going to resolve and solve everything within our workplace. Now, I want you to think about that real quick. As we go into this new year, will CE-399 really be something that ever will exist inside of your workplace? Because I don't think a magic bullet is really going to exist to solve everything that's going on.
Oops! What did he just say?
We at Safety FM don't always agree with the viewpoints of our hosts and guests.
Now back to real safety talk on Safety FM.
Don't go anywhere.
You're listening to the home of real safety talk.
You are listening to Safety FM. We'll be right back.
This portion of the show has been sponsored by Private Internet Access, America's #1 virtual private network, or VPN. Even if you use incognito mode, internet service providers is storing your browser data and many times even selling it. But Private Internet Access, or PIA, can help you. PIA encrypts and reroutes your internet traffic through one of its own servers, hiding your data from your internet service provider or network admin. And with servers in over 75 countries, you can get unrestricted access to geo-blocked content from around the world. PIA comes with easy-to-use apps and browsers extension for all devices, a rock-solid privacy policy, open source security, advanced customization settings, and it was just ranked the fastest VPN in the world by PC Magazine. And if you sign up right now with PIA, you can take advantage of a special deal only for Safety FM listeners. Only by using the following link, you can get the digital privacy for less than $2 a month. Yes, you did hear me correctly, less than $2 a month, and an extra 4 months for free. So that means for only $1.98 a month and 83% off, you can get this service for you right now. That's so much more inexpensive than virtually every other VPN on the market. And if you get it right now, you can take PIA's 30-day risk-free challenge. You can try it out for 30 days, see if you like it, and if not, just return it for a full refund. So just go to safetyfm.com/VPN. That's safetyfm.com/VPN to try out the best VPN on the planet completely risk-free. Now remember, safetyfm.com/VPN. Radio.
Do you have a claim and not sure where to turn? Coastal Claim Consultants are professionally licensed and bonded public insurance adjusters employed exclusively by you, the policyholder, to represent you after sustaining an insured loss. They assist policyholders in all aspects of processing the claim, working closely with the insured to provide the most equitable and timely settlement possible. They will provide you with comprehensive service, anything from inspecting the loss site, analyzing damages, compiling claim support data, reviewing applicable coverages, assessing replacement costs of damages, and negotiating your settlement. The adjusters at Coastal Claim Consultants will evaluate your claim for no upfront cost whatsoever. Coastal Claim Consultants' fee is based on contingency contracts and are paid when the insurance company sends you a check and it's in your possession. Coastal Claim Consultants are licensed to assist you in the following states: Florida, Texas, Oklahoma, Georgia, and South Carolina. For more information, go to coastal-cc.com. That's coastal-cc.com. For more information, lighting the way to recovery. Coastal Claim Consultants.
If you think local radio sucks, wait till you hear our free-form station, Radio Big.
Let's start using cutting-edge warp speed 5G technology with your cell phone. Let me tell you about my friends at mobilemobile.io. They have an ultra-fast 4G LTE and 5G network that covers 99% of Americans. So they've got you covered everywhere. Think about it for a moment. You have the opportunity to take a test drive for 10 days with unlimited talk, text, and premium data. What is premium data? Premium data is an allotment of a cellular data that you receive from a higher priority on the network. You won't get throttled like you will with some of those, well, non-brand service providers. To find out more information, all you have to do is go to mobilemobile.io. That's mobilemobile.io to start your 10-day free trial.
Hello.
Prepare yourself.
We are now being distributed on iHeartRadio. Listen on iHeartRadio app. Radio Big.
Okay, let's go.
saw the way you turned me on, even as I saw through you. I saw the way you called it, yeah, I saw the way you knew. And every time the world is wrong, we see it crystal clear. But we maintain the illusion that we all know why we're here.
Okay, here we are, 46 minutes past the top of the hour. You are still rocking to the Rated R Safety Show. Yeah, that's what we do around here. Rocking out with our... Oh, no, I'm not supposed to say that one. Here we go. Yeah, that's Oceanic when you fall. Still love this one. You know, I've contemplated for a long period of time just to make this one the intro. But, you know, we need some new music from time to time, but we can throw this one in. Because why not? Yeah, some Oceanic. It's available for streaming on Spotify, YouTube Music, and Apple Music. So there you go. By the way, congratulations to Canon making the top 5 with Loving You on the alternative Billboard chart. Yeah, number 3. I was super excited to read that last night. If you haven't heard Canon's Hang Out, when we get to the top of the hour, here in the next 13 minutes or so, we'll play it at the top just for you to take a listen to it. Loving You, Canon's. But we still love us some Oceanic. Don't get me wrong here. Because, you know, that's what we do. We love us some music. Anyways, let's get into what's going on here because we need to do that. We need to talk. And here's the fun part. The next thing I'm going to tell you, it is and will always be the most important thing that I will tell you in my lifetime. No matter what you are facing, you deserve to be connected to help. To Write Love on Her Arms wants you to know that people have been where you are now and things can get better. To find out more information, all you have to do is go to TWLOHA.com. That's TWLOHA.com to find out more information. To Write Love on Her Arms. TWLOHA.com. Like, seriously, it can change everything for you. It can put you in a different aspect. Because, listen, life is not easy. Things sometimes are extremely difficult. And To Write Love on Her Arms is there to help you out. TWLOHA.com. Once you get to the website, click on the section that says Find Help. I will tell you, there are so many resources there in regards of what's available. TWLOHA.com. Just take a look. You might say, well, that's maybe not for me. Just look at some of the information that's there. How you can get involved, what stories are there, what things are going on in your area, even events. I'm just telling you, there are some things that can change things for you by just taking a look around. To Write Love on Her Arms. TWLOHA.com. There you go. Anyway, so let's get into it. Let's talk real quick. Let's talk about some tech talk because I feel like that's going to be important this morning. We all know that it's a good idea to limit screen time and before going to bed, but a study shows that gaming and texting are the worst for your sleep than watching TV. Penn State University researchers found that a 15-year-old who engage in on-screen focus activities like chatting with friends online or playing video games within 1 hour of going to bed needed an additional 30 minutes to fall asleep. And then right when we're about to drift off, bing, another text from a friend. Also, in another one, do you like tweeting your thoughts watching your favorite shows? Maybe consider the University of Connecticut researchers have found that switching back and forth between screens, formerly Twitter, now X, and TV makes it harder to enjoy the shows that you're watching. The study revealed that the test participants who weren't live tweeting during the show felt like they were connected to the program. That's because they were more able to become strongly experienced in the phenomenon known as transportation when a viewer becomes more immersed and engaged with the show. Actually switching back and forth between X and anything else makes it less enjoyable. So there you go. I don't know. I'm just telling you what it says. So there you go. Should I tell you, well, this sucks? Yeah, let me tell you about, well, this sucks. Just when you think that you're making headway in eliminating the environmental disaster and making that plastic straw, well, comes the scientist that says at the University of Antwerp in Belgium say that the paper straws are not quite this eco-solution as many have hoped for. Plus, they argue that some plant-based eco-friendly alternatives to plastic say that they're silently contributing to PFAS, the forever chemical pollution. They tested 39 different straw brands made from plastic, paper, glass, bamboo, and stainless steel and found that PFAS is almost in all materials. Stainless steels are the only consistent exception. Apparently, to make paper and bamboo straws water repellent, many manufacturers appear to have added PFAS. Either that or you're using recycled material that contains forever chemicals. The scientists concluded that cutting back on the plastic can help, but only substantially if the alternatives are PFAS free. When you think about it, why does anyone over the age of 4 even need a straw? Maybe that's something to think about. And it was going to suggest that edible straws, but yeah, I've read here that that might not be such a good idea because of the PFAS. Just something to think about. Anyways, with that being said, let's do something a little bit more helpful, something a little bit more exciting. Let's bring some John Smalls into our life and let him tell us about the Motivation Minute.
The Motivation Minute is courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com. They're known for insurance quotes. Today's quote was submitted by Roger. Gail Foreman said, "We are born in one day. We die in one day. We can change in one day. And we can fall in love in one day. Anything can happen in just one day." I love that. Great things can happen in one day. But think about the flip side of this. There are people who spend an entire lifetime building their company, doing everything right, and then in one day, it all comes crashing down. Sometimes because of something they did, but sometimes it's because of a person they trusted enough to put them on their team in a position of importance. It's easier than ever to watch someone or something crumble to the ground over one incident, one comment, or one single post. This has been today's Motivation Minute, courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com. They're known for insurance quotes. I'm John Small. Thanks for listening. Your favorite motivational quotes can be submitted for upcoming programs at motivationminute.org.
Okay, so apparently one day has a lot of impact for you, depending on how you take a look at it. So there you go, as we are talking. Let's talk about Did You Know real quick. Just about everyone who uses a caffeine boost in the morning to get going. But a new researcher says that too much of a good thing may actually backfire, especially if you're using it to prepare for sports. The Stanford University researchers found that consuming caffeine prior to a game can improve the accuracy of a football passes. It may also have a negative effect on plays involving complex decisions, making the problem-solving skills a little bit weird. They suggest that coaches may want to explore issues further with training exercise. The most complex decision I made this morning is whether to brew my coffee now or to brew it now. Realistically, my caffeine boost is kind of a simple process. I pop open a can. That's normally how my caffeine one goes. Just so you know. So there you go. Let's talk about some whack facts real quick because we need to do that. There are over 635 billion possible hands in a game of bridge. If you're over the age of 100 years old, there's an 85% chance you're a woman. The placement of a donkey eyes enables it to see 4 feet at all times. Queen Elizabeth only wore one nail polish color, Essie Ballot slippers. No high jumper has ever been able to stay off the ground for more than 1 second. And people in nudist colonies play volleyball more than any other sport. Why is that? Everything flopping around?
We at Safety FM are not responsible for what this idiot behind the microphone is saying. He is trying to be entertaining. Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, so let's talk about some things that happened back on this date. Back in 1964, President Lyndon B. Johnson declares war on poverty, the creation of an array of programs under the name aimed to not only relieve the symptoms of poverty, but to cure and prevent it. There would be much debate in the future over the success rate of the program. That happened back in 1964. If you're looking at some birthdays for today, let's see. Noah Cyrus turns 24. Ryan Destiny turns 29. Cynthia Arrivo turns 37. Freddie Stroma, 37. David Silva, 38. Kim Jong-un, he turns 42, we think. Ray Mysterio Jr., 66. Carolina Herrera, 85. And Shirley Besley turns 87 today. If you're looking at some days of the year to celebrate, well, I have some of those for you. Earth Rotation Day, National Fourth Graders Day, National Career Coach Day, World Typing Day, National Gluten-Free Day, National English Toffee Day, Coming of Age Day, National Clean Your Desk Day, War on Poverty Day, National Argyle Day, Show and Tell at Work Day, National Winter Skin Relief Day, and National Bubble Bath Day. So there you go. That's some things to celebration if you want to do. So there you go. If you need a random joke for today, well, I have one of those for you. Internet dating, the odds are good, but the goods are odd. You get it? You get it? Okay, I hope you did. If you need a phone starter for today, try this. What is the weirdest thing you've seen in someone else's home? Hold on. How far back can we go here talking about this? Because I got some weird for you, no doubt about it. What else? If you need a question for the water cooler, try this. 80% of us say that they have been charged here. Where is it? Overcharged here. An auto repair shop. Yep, that would be the question for the water cooler. Yeah, I remember I had one recently that we took a car in to get it serviced. The guy said it was going to be like $3,000. Ended up being a serpentine belt, which ended up being like $300 that I took somewhere else. Actually, really, the people came to us. That's a whole other story. So there you go. That's going to sum up our time together at the top of the hour. We will be going over to radiobig.fm if you want to come and hang out with me. Would love to see you over there on that side of the woods. If you can't make it over there, you can stay on Safety FM and hang out with the likes of Sheldon Primus as he talks about the world of safety consulting. There you go. That's what's going on. That's the stuff. Anyways, thank you for always being the best part of Safety FM and Radio Big, and that is the listener, because without you, it doesn't make a lot of sense to do what we do around here. If I can't leave you with a deep thought for today, I would love to leave you with this one. The difference between try and triumph is just a little oomph. Yeah, think about that. There you go. Anyways, I know who you are.
Duh.
You know who I am. Love ya, mean it, and goodbye.
The views and opinions expressed on this podcast are those of the host and its guest and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of the company. Examples of analysis discussed within this podcast are only examples. They should not be utilized in the real world as the only solution available, as they are based only on very limited and dated open source information. Assumptions made within this analysis are not reflective of the position of the company. No part of this podcast may be reproduced, stored in a retrieval system, or transmitted in any form or by any means, mechanical, electronic, recording, or otherwise, without prior written permission of the creator of the podcast, Jay Allen.
Saw through you. I saw the way you called it. Yeah, I saw the way you knew. And every time the world is wrong, we see it crystal clear. But we maintain